Good evening, everybody. Good evening. This is Claudia Borges from Canada, and I'm so excited to be your presenter of the night. Gowinder Samra from India, assisting me on the co-host activity. And we have J. Michael from Texas. Hello, Michael. Rita Marquez. It's good to see you. I love your trip with your brother. I am glad you enjoyed that. Faye from Singapore, Gloria from San Diego. Luz and Sanalia from Canada, and we got finally Mark in the house. He was trying to come in a few times. So let me tell you a little bit about the topic for today. We are in a world where our food has changed and changes every day. Now, Kowinder, before I start, let me know if I get laggy, because if I get laggy, I'm going to stop the Facebook Live. But if you see me okay, maybe make sure you write me. If anything happens, make sure you call me.
Sure.
So in the world of today, sometimes I find myself with people all the time when we're doing coaching with Waldo that say, I eat pretty well. This weekend alone, we were at Walmart. We found some of our friends, two sisters from church, and they were talking. They said to Waldo, we would love to get some feedback from you. One of them wants to lose weight, the other one wants to gain weight. And the one that wants to lose, no, the one that wants to gain weight says, I don't know what to eat. I eat, I don't gain weight. The other one says, I eat, and I gain a lot of weight. Like, there's just so many different types of body and body composition and the way that the food, reacts in your body that it can be like the two sisters, right? So one of the most common things that we hear is, but I eat well. And we always say with Waldo, what does eating well mean to people, right? It is such an interesting thing to say. What is eating well? So today, my goal is to give you a little bit of training on something very important that is not just eating, but absorbing. So the absorption is everything. That's why I decided to call my talk. Um, I'm just checking my screen. And I lost my presentation. Okay, here we go. So just let's do this on a big slideshow, and I'm ready. So Kawinder, I think you should be seeing any minute my screen now. And it says you are what you absorb.
Yes.
Enzymes matter. Very good. I'm in the right screen. So let's talk a little bit about enzymes. But before that, I want to introduce myself a little bit. I have been in Canada for 24 years. I have the greatest friends in the world, and a wonderful husband that loves health, loves good quality food, and has taught me so much. And we always say the best version of me is a lifestyle that you are capable of creating for yourself and those you love. The idea here is to be able to teach you at least one good thing every time you come into these Zoom rooms. If there is one good habit that you acquire from us and that you're able to take for yourself and then share with somebody that you love, we will be able to do what we love the most, which is share good. When you feel good, you want to share good, right? So this presentation is not intended to give any medical advice, treatment, or diagnosis. I am not a doctor. I am not a nutritionist. Please consult with your doctor before taking any supplements. I am going to mention some supplements. Please check with your doctor before that. This information is purely informative. There's no claim or intention to replace any medical diagnosis. Everything here is my own opinion, and the supplements mentioned in this presentation are not intended to diagnose, cure, or treat any disease and are not approved by the FDA because they're not a food or drug. They're actually a complement to food that you already take. So the topic for today is the digestive system. I love the digestive system. And so if you see, my goodness, it starts not even in your mouth. I would say, does it start in your mouth? Actually, did you know that your digestive system starts with your senses? When you smell food, you're like, even if I mention the word lemon or lemonade, so if I say lemon or lemonade, your mouth starts to water. So you see how even your brain creates an action in your mouth? You can say, you can smell something, and also you say, wow, my stomach just, activated something. That's your digestive enzymes. Or you start, your mouth gets very, watery with saliva. That's your digestive enzymes at work. So the digestive system converts the food that we eat into simplest forms like glucose, sugars, amino acids, those are going to make up protein, and fatty acids, those make up fats. The broken down food is then absorbed into the bloodstream from the small intestine, and then the nutrients are carried to each cell of the body. So that's why it says you are what you eat. And in my talk today is you are what you absorb, because we could be eating a lot, but what are you absorbing? So I find that, there is so much beauty in everything that we see here on the right. We have our large intestine and our, esophagus and the stomach, and every single organ does an important job. So the digestive system takes in the food and the liquids, breaks them down. The organs of the digestive system are the mouth, the esophagus, the stomach, the pancreas, liver, gallbladder, small intestine, large intestine, and anus. So the digestive system is going to break down the food, such carbs, fats, and proteins. Then they're going to get absorbed into the bloodstream so they can be used for energy, growth, and repair. And anything that is not used by the body is going to be discarded as feces. That's pretty much how the body works. You eat, body takes what it needs, and then what it doesn't need, it's going to take out. So when we eat, we activate all that machinery that I just mentioned. And from there, we get the nutrients. And we need the nutrients for even just being alive. Like if there's no nutrition, that's when people get very weak, they get very sick. So what we eat is called a bolus. This is like the food that it starts getting chewed up by our beautiful teeth that God gave us. And it chews, it mixes, then it's going to start shaking and transporting all the way down. And all those chemical procedures, those are called digestive secretions, and those are the acids and the enzymes. So what are digestive enzymes? This is an actual picture of what a digestive enzyme looks like. And I think it's beautiful. So molecules created by our body are responsible for breaking down the polymers present in food into smaller molecules so that they can be easily absorbed. In other words, enzymes are essential for healthy digestion. And for this reason, you have to take care of them. A poor diet or aging can reduce enzymes and it may harm the body. So each enzyme has a specific function, and some are responsible for transportation of nutrients, others are responsible for elimination of toxic waste or for purification of the blood in the liver. Or some of them, their job is to give nutrition to the brain. Digestive enzymes help with this absorption of nutrients and the breakdown of particles in the food that we eat. Within the digestive secretions produced in the body, we're going to highlight 5 main types. The first one is your saliva. So we have your salivary glands. I just activated those for you when I said lemon or lemonade. You drink that lemonade, right away your salivary glands act up. Gastric secretions, those are the ones in your stomach. Intestinal secretions, bile produced in the liver, and pancreatic juice produced in the pancreas. Each of them has a different composition and therefore different enzymes that will condition their action on fats, proteins, or carbohydrates. this is one of my favorite pictures. This lady's eating a pizza. And when I found this picture, I kind of understood everything. Digestive enzymes are crucial for breaking down that food, that pizza that lady's eating, so that it can be absorbed by the body. Once food is broken down into those smaller molecules, it can be absorbed and then distributed to all the cells. So let's look at this picture over here. You know, I'm having that delicious pizza. And so the carbs, which are signaled here with these three squares, are going to be break down by these little guys, right? And there's some fat going on here and some protein, you see? And so these are breaking down, and here is the hydrochloric acid, which is in our stomach, which is produced to break down even more, and the layer of mucus, which is protecting our body from our own acid, right? And so there's a little funnel there and some more, places that things come out of. So the bile is coming and breaking down from the pancreatic duct. It's breaking down the bile even more into smaller particles. And then the small intestine, and you see they keep breaking down, breaking down. Now, some of them are going to go into the digestive tract, the intestines, and here, this is what's happening. There's bacteria, vitamins, fiber, and at the end, anything that needs to go out, which is waste, some simple sugar that is going to convert into energy, some fatty acids or glycerol, and then at the end, everything that it doesn't need, it becomes brown and mushy, and it's what we know as feces. And it gets thrown out thanks to fiber. So that's it. Isn't it a beautiful journey? The end. I could finish the whole training here, and it's just such a good picture. There are digestive enzymes in saliva, gastric juice, pancreatic juice, and intestinal secretions. So let's talk a little bit about the names. We have a lot of enzymes. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I will mention the most important ones. So in the stomach, you know those little guys that I just showed you that were breaking down food? Some of them are called pepsin and some of them are called gelatinous. So the pepsin splits the proteins in small peptides, and the gelatinous degrades the gelatin and the collagen. The pancreas, he has his own little guys, and this one has the trypsin, which degrades the proteins into amino acids, the chymotrypsin, which converts proteins into aromatic amino acids, and the elastase, which disintegrates elastin protein. So as you see, each organ has their own crew. Small intestines have lactase, which disintegrates lactose sugar into glucose and galactose, and peptidase breaks down peptides into amino acids. And all of these names will be important in a minute when I'm at the end of the training. So again, it's just going to go from mouth to stomach. So the mouth is going to activate the salivary amylase. Then the stomach is going to activate hydrochloric acid and pepsin. The duodenum is going to activate pancreatic amylase and pancreatic lipase and trypsin. And the small intestine, lactase, maltase, sucrase. So each of them has a job to do. So we're going to look, and I'm in the pictures, right? I'm going to look at the bread, which is your carbs, at the piece of chicken, which is your proteins, and at the oil, which is your fats. So each of them has these guys that are breaking down into smaller molecules. So carbohydrates are broken down into sugars by enzymes like amylase, sucrose, and I read them already. Now the chicken, the same, different structure, but it's going to break down. And the oil, same thing. The lipase is going to break down into fatty acids. So basically, like I said, the stomach gets the chewed up food. That's called bolus. And then it hits the gastric acids. This hydrochloric acid, the one we have in our stomach, is a corrosive liquid that further breaks down food and helps kill lingering pathogens. And the pepsin, which is an enzyme that digests proteins found in meat, dairy, eggs, and seeds. As the partially digested food, that now it's called chyme, it's not called bolus anymore because it's disintegrating, is released from the stomach into the duodenum, the first section of the 20-foot long small intestine. Did you guys know we have 20 feet of intestine? That when I learned that, I was like, how do we fit all of that? No wonder. And then it's going to encounter more and more and more. And then the bile is going to be released by the liver and it emulsifies the fat. So even the walls of the small intestine release digestive enzymes. The brush border, which are millions of finger-like protuberances called villi, line up the interior of the small intestine. They actually have also more digestive enzymes, lactase, maltase, sucrose isomaltase, and plus peptides, enzymes that complete the digestion of our food and enable absorption of nutrients. So I put this picture here because I said, now exercise. Now think of the way your body is working with that last meal you had. Can you share in the chat so I know that everybody's learning and everybody's with me, and say, what was the last thing that you ate before you came to this meeting? And how long ago? Because, this is interesting how anything you ate. So I said, maybe did you eat a burger with fries and pop? Like, is your body working to disintegrate this meal? Or maybe your body ate some salad and chicken and milk and potato. Maybe you ate some beans and some bacon, salt. I think this is milk. I always say it's milk, but and some rice. I think this is rice because this is rice and beans. These are just recipes. Let me see in the chat if I have some people that have answered. What was your last meal? Very good, Kawinder. So she ate a wrap. So you ate some carbs. Tell me what the wrap had inside. So I want you to think of that and think how many of those enzymes you activated in your body.
I eat a wrap with ground meat and cabbage. Then after I go for a walk 45 minutes.
Very good, because you're helping your digestion and you're helping those enzymes activate more. So anything that is not absorbed by this point, it's either excreted or recycled. For more on that, we're going to see more training on fiber. So let's look at some of the enzymes again. And it's going to look a little repetitive, but I think that was the only way that I understood it. So that's the way I'd like to train it. So the active site is your mouth. And again, amylase on the mouth, and it's going to break down those starches and the saccharides. In your stomach, you have your pepsin. It's going to break down the proteins into peptides. In your small intestine, which it's released from the pancreas, you're going to get the pancreatic amylase, trypsin, and lipase, which each of them break down starch, peptides into smaller polypeptides, fats. And your small intestine is now got the crew of maltose, sucrose, lactose, and peptidase. And those are going to convert the saccharide into monosaccharides and breaks down the peptides into amino acids. So everything is breaking down into smaller and smaller and smaller bits. So what kind of support now that we know all those names and they work in crews and where they are and all of this, I think the most important thing to ask here is, what kind of support do they offer? Well, first and above all, reduction of indigestion and heartburn. So a lot of my clients come to me and say, I don't know, it's just that I'm always indigested. Food is like never on the right place. It goes back, it doesn't go down. And you know what? That's number one problem is your food is not being broken down properly. That's it. Reduction of the feeling of overload caused by gases. It will help digest dairy products better. It will help minimize food allergies, and it will help improve conditions like hiatal hernia and ulcers. I had a hiatal hernia. It's very painful. Inadequate enzyme production can lead to digestive disorders, bloating, lack of energy, food allergy type reactions. If food passes into the large intestine without being digested, the bacteria present there ferment the food, and it causes that very uncomfortable word, flatulence. Nobody likes flatulent people, and nobody likes to be flatulent, right? And with that comes fatigue and diarrhea. So let me tell you the story about oatmeal. I always like this story here and when I do this talk because my husband loves oatmeal. When I married him knowing that he was a farter. It is my little secret and the one that I have to live with. I said, "Oh my goodness, will I be able to live with this man for the rest of my life?" And he was so embarrassed at the beginning. We were boyfriend and girlfriend. He would try and get away. He would say, walk fast, walk fast. And I didn't even know what was happening. And his daughter was the one that opened up the can of the secret and said, Daddy, you can't do that in front of Claudia. She will not be your girlfriend. It was so funny. I remember like the first day. So what happens is he has a digestive problem since he's younger, caused by bad eating habits when he was a kid, plus lots of stress when he was an adult, and which ended up in 3 times having to go to the emergency room because of his condition. So what happens is he doesn't digest food properly. But what we discover, the good ending of the story, is that I have a friend that works a lot with nutrition, and one of the worst in the worst enemies was not necessarily the oatmeal, but the fact that the oatmeal was not getting properly digested. So all we had to do was put the oatmeal one night before in half a spoon of vinegar, which is apple cider vinegar, just a little spoon. And I recommend this for everybody. And what she explained to me is that way the oatmeal, the vinegar destroys. I can't remember what it destroys. I don't remember the name of it, but it destroys this part. The word in English is specula. I can't remember the word in English. That's the word in Spanish. It's a part like a covering of the of the oatmeal. And also, if you leave it overnight, then the oatmeal already does the process of getting big and fluffy in the water. Then he makes the oatmeal. So he leaves it for 8 hours. Then he makes the oatmeal, and the oatmeal's already like very large. So his body doesn't have to do the job. And that is, and I'm not going to say it's 100% so solve the problem, but I can tell you happily that it's about 80% solved, and it's all about digestion. So let's talk about food. So where do I find the foods? I find foods that have enzymes in everything, but there's some that have higher enzymes. Some of them are obviously fruits and vegetables. Those are going to give us gastric enzymes. And we need to avoid the consumption of medications with chemicals. I'm going to give you some of the most popular ones, and some of you tell me if in your country these are one of the favorites for you. Some people, my goodness, papaya. What papaya? It has an enzyme called papain, and this is very useful to produce enough pancreatic enzymes, which cause a lot of the indigestion symptoms like gas, bloating, and flatulence. Pineapple. This one is very popular, and this is why people actually do a lot of pineapple diets. Also, I don't know if you've gone to eat at a place where they have a lot of red meat or red protein, like those Brazilian places that bring you meat and meat and meat. And then in the middle of it, they'll bring you a barbecued pineapple piece. Or if you actually barbecue pineapple and then you have no idea where you got the recipe or who told you to barbecue pineapple. Well, in fact, this is why they serve it in these like very famous and popular Brazilian restaurants that sell a lot of meat, because they dissolve the protein very well. It's got a source of bromelain, which acts and aids for indigestion and reduces intestinal inflammation. So, hey, add a little bit of barbecued pineapple to your next barbecue. The kiwi. I know people that actually have a kiwi every morning just so they can go to the washroom. It has an enzyme called actidine that acts as a catalyst for protein digestion. Honey, it contains digestive enzymes that help improve intestinal movement and food absorption. And raw vegetables, raw because they activate your digestive enzymes. These, especially the green ones, broccoli, celery, and parsley. I heard, and Faye from Singapore can actually confirm. I think she did before my when I did this talk one time ago. I heard that Asian people actually don't have very good digestive system, even though they eat healthy, because they don't like raw vegetables. Everything they do, they already boil. And when you're boiling your vegetables, you're actually taking away a lot of the properties of your digestive enzymes. So I heard it from another affiliate in For Life that she had said that she sold, but they don't have digestive enzymes in her country. I don't remember what country it was, but she says she used to bring so many and sell them really fast because it would help with people's digestion. So some more fruits here that I wanted to add. Mango contains a lot of enzymes which cleanse your bowels, toxins, and prevent indigestion. Ginger, which helps increase muscle contraction in your stomach, and it also helps empty the stomach more effectively. Asparagus contain prebiotics, which feed the healthy bacteria in your gut. Beets, those are some of my favorite, nutrient dense that maintain proper gut health and fiber rich, effective elimination. Leafy greens, which on a certain gene, turn on a certain gene which promote good intestinal health by keeping out the bad bacteria. Bananas neutralize acidity of gastric juices, prevent ulcers, and promote regularity. And avocado, which promote the release of digestive enzymes in our mouth and stomach. Worst foods for digestive enzyme: saturated fatty acids, dairy, wheat, caffeine, soda, and alcohol. My goodness. We might as well just stick with our very delicious PEVI diet that Dr. Ani has recommended us, or any healthy diet where you add a lot of those green, red juices, a salad, some protein, very low carb, and only healthy carbs that you need, some rice, quinoa. So do you need digestive enzymes? Because you know what, I've been talking a lot about digestive enzymes, and I've told you you can get it from food. And so people are like, why are you talking about supplements? Like, I can get it from all those food that you told me. Well, absolutely. But you know what? We have the added factor that not only are we aging, but we have digestive challenges that do not help our system. So the neuroendocrine system regulates digestion. And the doctor that I got this from says that there are 5 major stress sources for your digestion and your nutrient absorption. The number one problem: environmental stress. So toxic everywhere that disrupts gut ecology. This includes chemicals, herbicides, parabens, antibacterial compounds. So I always say, even washing your hands and washing your clothes is getting you toxic. So because we've done so many talks on this, you should know by now that everything, even sitting in the grass, like Dr. Ronnie says, we don't know what they have put in the grass to keep the bugs out. I'll tell you a story. I got a beautiful dining room a few months ago, and they sent me a recall. That's the first time I get a recall from a furniture place in my lifetime. You know what the recall was about? My new, very beautiful, perfect dining room that I have dreamed of has, I forgot the word in English. Some of my English Spanish speakers can help me. Plomo. If not, I'll find it here in the Google. It has excessive it has excessive lead. I forgot that word. Lead. I have a toxic dining room, and it's so toxic that the store has literally sent me a letter to go and choose a new one. I said to my husband, do you know how many toxic things we have in our house that we do not get recalls about? I have no idea. Have you ever heard of this? So anyway, I'm actually happy I can get to the store. Hopefully I'll get one as nice as the one I got, because that was like perfect for me. But I don't want to be poisoning myself every day, every time I sit on my dining room. Do you see how bad it's gotten? We used to poison ourselves all the time without knowing. Now, at least, we know. Physical stress, overexertion. That means working too hard, doing too much exercise at the gym, jogging for too many hours, even if you think it's a good exercise. Or again, just overworking yourself with your job. Chronic illness, surgery, inadequate sleep, disruptive daily rhythms, people that, travel at night or stay all night looking at their computer. These undermine digestive processes. Emotional stress pumps up stress hormone production and in turn excessively increases and decreases stomach acid production. So getting stuck in flight or flight mode slows digestion and the production of digestive enzymes. Pharmaceutical stress from the ongoing use of antacids, antibiotics, chemotherapy drugs, and steroids. These are going to interfere your microbiome. This is going to again affect your digestion. And dietary stress obviously results from food allergies, intolerances, or sensitivities. You don't have to be allergic to something to be sensitive to something. And that's why we do a lot of the detoxes with Dr. Rani, that so that you and your body become aware, or you become of your body's signs of the sensitivities. It could be midnight shades. It's not that Dr. Rani says never eat a tomato. It's just that a lot of people are allergic, are sensitive to midnight shade vegetables without knowing. So once you take them off your diet and you try to reincorporate again, you'll find the sensitivity or the intolerance or even worse, the allergy. So these are some of the situations that we try and solve with our digestive enzymes. So you remember why I took so long at the beginning talking about all those names? It's because I wanted to let you know that a lot of them are covered in our digestive enzymes. I'm really in love with our digestive enzymes. It has the amylase, the protease, the glucoamylase, the acid maltase, the cellulase, the pectinase, the bromelain, the lipase. Do you recognize some of these names? Some I didn't like. I didn't read this one. Hemicellulase. I don't know where that one. Xylanase. I don't. And papain. I did mention that one. That one was the one from the papaya. So this is a wonderful blend. Wonderful blend that is going to cover a lot of that situation with your digestive health. It's going to aid to break down proteins, carbs, and fats, and absorb the nutrients that your body needs. It's going to reduce the intestinal discomfort associated with bad food digestion. So it has 16 of those different enzymes that I was teaching you that support digestive health by aiding the breakdown of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, and helping you with absorption of nutrients. 16 unique digestive enzymes that support digestive health. They support healthy food digestion, reduce intestinal discomfort associated with the digestion of food, and support overall digestive health. What are digestive enzymes? From For Life, they are a unique blend of 16 different enzymes that support digestive health by helping break down the proteins, carbs, and fats. Aging, illness, and stress can reduce the amount of digestive enzymes in your body, so it can cause an incomplete digestion and unwanted side effects like bloating, abdominal discomfort, and we talked about that very, very embarrassing flatulence. So supplementing with digestive enzymes can compensate for those temporary deficiencies and ensure that your body's ability to get the best from foods that you eat and maintain great function. I'm going to close off with our package with the digestive enzymes included for our Reset Digest for Life is a very complete package. I have to change this picture. It actually, our aloe vera comes in an easy sticks form now that you can mix with water. And all you have to do is cleanse, detox, and restore. You cleanse with fiber. Take everything out that has not been taken out in a long time. You help it with your digestive enzymes so that bolus of food can come out nice and easy. Sorry, it cleans up every corner of the house, I say. After that, you're going to detox with our super detox. That's going to support the liver to give the liver everything it needs so that he can do the job well again. And after that, you restore with aloe vera, probiotics, and our number one product in this company, transfer factor, which is going to work like a prebiotic to that probiotic, helping it populate 800% better than if you were not taking the transfer factor. So it's just going to accelerate the population of the bacteria in your microbiome. So with that, I am now finished for the presentation part, and we can jump to question and answers. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and you can ask me questions. I will, in turn, try to answer them. If I don't, I will find out the answer for you. Cowinder.
I have it just like add up. Like say, for example, when you say dining table recall, right? In India, I never heard these kind of word. Like sometimes I'm saying like the food you already ate and you throw the containers, store recall, and you are hearing in the news. Sometimes I'm saying like how you rid of from your system now. Even like these days, last like conversation I heard on somebody's studies, salt, pink salt is coming very common, and they mention certain companies and certain stores if you use this salt, and they are on recall, and I bring one of that salt box and we already finish. And sometimes I'm saying like how you gonna be like take out from your own system. Like we have awareness, we are creating even awareness to others, like try to detox, cleanse often, and watch what you're eating. But sometimes like I'm saying like how much public they are not aware about these things, but we are all using because shelves are full of products. That's my just input.
Very good. Yeah, like you're saying, even when we had lead in our teeth, we didn't know that was poisoning us. And I had all the lead taken out already. And that was something, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago that I start hearing more. And I said, oh my gosh, we've been poisoning ourselves slowly without even noticing. So anything, I always say, even what you wash your clothes with. I don't like washing, I don't want to say brands, but I don't like washing with the ones that smell a lot. Sometimes if I buy a more inexpensive brand, actually I like it better because I think I don't like it when they smell so much. I think if they smell so much, they have something more than I shouldn't have in my body. So my clothes, sometimes they don't smell as nice as they used to smell when I put the nice smelly ones, but I just feel more comfortable this way. I don't know. And I put the least amount of soap that my clothes needs. Uh, because I know a lot of people get allergies just from their soap from their washer. Anybody has any questions, comments? What did you learn today about digestive enzymes? And tell me what was your favorite part, Michael?
I learned a lot. And, you and I have talked about this product, gosh, forever. It seems like it's one of, like you said, your top 10. It's actually the only, I use a lot of Pour-like products, but it's the only product I actually carry in my pocket
Me
every
too.
day. I think I've showed that to you. We've probably traveled with you, and I have a little guitar case here that
That's
can
so
hold it.
cute.
It holds about, and Judy has one too, and it holds about 20, 24 digestive enzymes. It's always in my pocket. I think when last time we were in Salt Lake together, I probably pulled that out when we went out to dinner and I offered
Yes.
you one. But I take 4 to 6 a day, but I always have it with me. And so like wherever I am at home, I also have a bowl of them on our dining room table. We have a bowl right on our dining room table so that we take them if we're sitting down there eating. But it's a great product, as most of you perhaps know. Um, as you age, Judy and I are both in our mid 70s. Your body stops producing digestive enzymes. They say it starts around in your 40s, but it really progresses in later years in life. And digestive enzymes were actually prescribed to both of us by our primary physician. He actually pulled out a prescription pad and wrote down digestive enzymes. And a couple other things on there too. And I said, that's no problem. We have them. And so we've been on these for 8 years, maybe 9 years, 4 to 6 a day. with incredible results. It helps our digestive system, and I couldn't live without them. I mean, this is like brushing my teeth. I just um, so carry them with you. Don't that way you won't forget. That way, if you're over at your family's house, your daughter's house, you're out to eat with friends, you can pull it out. You can offer it around the table. You got anybody want digestive enzymes? We're obviously out with a lot of seniors, and most of them want them anyway. So, but I appreciate it. You did a great job. And like you said, ours has 16 different enzymes in it. There's hardly a better one for the cost. The cost versus what you get, I can't find a better one on the market than what we have. Thanks, Claudia.
Wow, I think so too. Like you said, Mike, I don't have them in such a pretty case, but you're right. It's the only product. I put some of those humidifier things. I have vitamin D here because I always forget my vitamin D, and then I go to the doctor, and I'm in Canada.
The
So
only
vitamin
other
D and
The other one I
digestive
usually have
enzymes.
with me is the spray, but I don't carry the spray in my pocket. But I've got one in the car. I've got one in my briefcase. I've got
Ah,
one in
yes.
the bathroom. We've got one. We got a spray bottle everywhere. So, but this one I
Yes.
literally carry in my pocket with the digest.
Yes, yes. And you know what? I know I've helped a lot of people, like you said, because we go to a restaurant and we're gonna have like a big meal. We went to lunch with Coinder, and I think I forgot to pull them out, but it's always nice to give it to a person you're with. They might not even ever buy from you, but I know they feel the effect. I'm like, did you see we ate and you didn't feel any like bloating or fullness or yeah, you're right, and so you can always just have it even if it's not 30 minutes. You can, to me, I've noticed that you can have it after your meal because if you
Yes,
forget, it still works
take it
really
right
good.
after. Take it
Still
right
works
after.
really good. You can
Yeah.
take it before, you can take it after, you can take it at night so that you
Mm.
sleep well. It's just such a good product. And like you said, price point at the right, very competitive with the market out there. Uh, so yes, it's not in every country. Rita, I'm not sure if it's in Europe. She's going to Germany, so you might want to take some of those bottles with you when you go. So yes, so thank you so much. And so we're 10 to 9. So tomorrow, oh, yeah, and I have another training. So let me stop the Facebook. Thank you, Facebook friends. Next Tuesday, again with more health talks, and tomorrow we also check the calendar because we don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. Dr. Annie was on vacation. That's why I took the spot today, the spotlight. But we always have good health talks, so make sure you're checking your WhatsApp group or checking the website. Even if we didn't plan it, we might throw in one like this, always talking about our great products.